So one of the things to remember about programming is based on ones and zeros. So when you start talking about substring, you have to understand index. So with an index is not a count, it's a location. So when I ask you how long a sentence is, you would count, for example, this sentence. You would say, how long is this sentence? You would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So you're saying that this is 22 characters long. But when you talk about substring in index, you're talking about a location. And in Java, location starts at 0 and then will continue through until you come to your stopping point as need be. So in this particular case, this has an index of 21, I believe, because it's usually one less than the count. In fact, it's always one less than the count. So our index in this particular case goes from 0 to 21. So to make this easier to see, we are going to put some blocks around it. So with substring, you're going to use these index numbers to determine what new word you want. So let's say you only wanted the word index. Well, that starts at 11 and ends at 15. So your substring would be from 11 to 16 because the last number doesn't count. So if you're looking for a substring of index and just grabbing the word index, you would want a substring 11 to 15 for the letters, which means you need to end at 16. So your substring would be 11, 16, because that last number you include does not actually show up in the word you're substringing. And that's if you use two letters. So let's say we wanted to just grab the end of the sentence, and we wanted to grab the end of the sentence from and. That means all we would do is say substring a or substring 8, because that's the first letter, and that would bring us all the way to the end here, and we would have that whole thing just based on the idea that you're grabbing the letter 8. So, word dot substring parentheses 8 close parentheses. So sometimes they're going to ask you for the location of a letter, index of a letter. And if you're looking for index of a letter and they say we would like to know the index of n. Well, in this particular case you have two n's. You have an n here and an n here. When you use the string method index, it's always going to grab the first n, not the second. And it won't grab both of them. So in this case, it's going to return a 9. Actually, there's 3 of them. I missed that index right there. So it's always going to grab the first one and none of the other ones. So that's the index of. So I'm going to show you a couple examples in programming. So in programming here, you have two different things. You have, this is an index count and this is a soccer game. And then I have new sentence, new sentence. I'm going to use these to set my variables for the for when I am doing the substring, and then I have the index loc, which is going to be for my index of. So let's say I want to find the index location of the word soccer. All right, so I would put index 2, because that's our variable that has the word soccer in it, dot index of, and then I want to find the index of soccer. So, and then all I'm going to do is put the word index loc in there. So when I compile it, it says I have no errors. I come over here and I run it, and it says that it's at -1. Now it says it's at -1 because it didn't find it. Now the reason it didn't find it is because I actually capitalized the S. If you look here, I don't have the S capitalized here. Capitalization is actually important. If you go to the ASCII table, which is what Java uses for number determination, you can see that a lowercase a equals a 97 and an uppercase a equals a 65. So Java sees those as two different identifying numbers. So it is going to return a negative. Even though I have soccer here, it's capitalized, which makes a difference from soccer as a lowercase. So that's why the -1 is returned. So if the word or index doesn't show up, it doesn't return. So when I put this to lowercase and I compile it, and then I run it, it's going to say 10. So if I look at this, I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That is the location. So now I want to do count. I should again get a negative because I don't have count in index 2. But I do have count in index 1. So when I compile it and I run it, it's going to say it's at 17, which again is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So understanding index is important for substring, which we're now going to be going into. So we're going to talk about new sentence 1. And I can leave this in because I'm not actually printing it out, so I'm going to leave it there for now, and I'm just going to move down to here. So we're going to say new, see, let me give myself one more space. So new sentence 1 is going to equal, let's start with index 2 again. And we're going to have it substring. And what I want to do is I want to substring out soccer game. Now, when we found out where soccer string 1, it was at 10. So again, just to check that, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, excuse me. I have to start at 0 because this is index, not a count. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm looking to get the S all the way to the end. So I only have to put in one number. And by putting in one number, it's going to grab soccer game and only soccer game. So let me compile this and let me run it. And there you have soccer game. So as I had talked about on this example here, if I wanted to grab the word index and only the word index, I have to grab the starting index, which is 11, all the way to 1 over the starting index, because it will grab all of these letters here, and then it will stop at this number. So I have to go 11 to 16 to grab the word index. So coming back to my program, here's the word index there. We want to grab that. So I need to change my variable from index 2 to index 1 to make sure I'm matching this. And then I want to change this. If I come here, I start at 11. Whoops. I want to start at 11 and end at 16. So if I have done this correctly, that will give me just the word index. And it does just give me the word index. So if I wanted to include an in there, I have to go back 10, 9, 8. So all I would have to do is change this to 8. I'm unsure why it hung up. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to close this down and reopen it. So compile it, and again I'm trying to get an index to show up. I'm going to run it. Now I have an index because I'm saying this is my starting point and this is my stopping point, but don't include this index. So here's a kind of cool trick that you can do is, let's say I want to grab this is an and then soccer game and put those two together. So I want sentence 1 plus sentence, whoops, new sentence 2. So I do want to include a space, otherwise it's going to look a little funky. So I'm going to go from 0 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's what I want, which means I got to go one more, so I'm going to go to 11. So my first index 1 is going to be from 0 to 11. So just to cheat a little bit, I'm going to copy this, paste it. This is going to be my cent 2. I'm going to use index 2. And now I'm going to grab the soccer game, and only the soccer game, which means I only need to do one thing. And if you remember, all we needed was 10 to start at the S, but let's just check that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all I need is 10 here. And then if I combine these, it should work. I may not have the space correct, but if I don't, I will change that. So this is and soccer game. So I'm grabbing the and from up here and putting the two sentences together. So it's a way where you can actually combine sentences and do that kind of thing, or take pieces out or find keywords. So let's say I wanted to just find out where the word count starts and take out only that part of the sentence, or index and take out just that part of the sentence. So I found out in index 1 where this is by finding where index is. So now I want to actually just get out that word moving forward. So this is how you can combine index of and substring to help it out. So my index location is here. I found the index of a place, so now I'm going to use the index loc variable to be the number in here. And if everything works out fine, I should get index count from this. So compile, run, hit OK, and there's my index count. So index of and substring can be used together very often to be able to get pieces of information out from what the user is saying rather than what you are dictating. Let me know if you have any questions.